welcome back to another episode of Elude Stalwart. It's not plays today. Today it's gonna be Elude Stalwart kind of chews on his lip a little bit for no reason. Where'd it go? Today should be Elude Stalwart. Where is it? It should be Elude Stalwart reads, guys. The intro's all messed up now. We were on a roll. We had a thunderstruck roll we were on. Oh, there was updates. Okay. It updated. So this is a book called Never Finished by David Goggins, aka Goggins, aka Savage, aka Beast Mode, aka Broly. We're currently on page 73, so we'll go ahead and go to that page. This is evolution number 4. Unshackle your mind. I'm gonna put it where I can see it. Yeah, I'll put it where I can see it. Y'all can buy the book if y'all want to read along. I recommend buying the book so you can read along. All right, y'all ready? Y'all ready for this? So, back here, we ain't really got much going on, come to think of it. I could give y'all something to look at. Let's do this. Watch. You remember how I was like, you should buy the book if you want to read it? You still should, okay? You still should. Kindle's got all kinds of cool options for that stuff, guys. I'm in over my head. We're in past our depth here, guys. I almost want to create a new one because I don't want to mess up what I have here. Let's create a new one. We'll make it a window capture. I feel like I'm pushing my computer to its limits right now. Push it to the limit, past the point of no return, past the point of a 90s montage, or an 81. Oh, there's 2 World of Warcrafts open? That'll do it. That'll do it for him right there. 2 WoWs open will do it for him. Okay, behind here. And then the Kindle Properties. I think it's just, it's not actually filtering properly. No. Does it just not see Kindle because it's an app? Ooh, that's fancy. Hey, Amazon, way to go, guys. Y'all are way ahead of me. Here, let's try Windows 7. Let's try Windows 10. Motherfucker hacker. He a hacker. You can't trust a hacker. Okay, hold on. It's an oxymoron, guys. It's an oxymoron. Trust a hacker? He's just gonna hack. We need a good mask. Let's find a good mask here. Not the honeycomb. There, the tricomb. It's like the Triforce, but it's the tricomb. Boom. So now y'all can see I'm actually reading something and not just talking to myself about my past endeavors. Y'all actually know that this is somebody else's endeavors. Hold on. What is this? Oh, we don't need the music one on right now. It'd help if it was lined up, though. Why is it not lined up? Is it not? Oh, it's... I don't understand. You want to see what I'm working on? Y'all can see what I'm working on, actually. So this is evolution number 3, guys. I hope y'all were ready for this. I know it's really blowing your socks off right now. You just got to understand. You're going to learn. I got to teach you, though. I got to teach. How do we learn? How do we learn? There was a quick... By standing on the shoulders of giants. That's how we learn, guys. That's how we learn. All right, y'all ready? Y'all ready for this? This is the real intro, guys. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? I'm Elude Stalwart here with another episode that I can't even see right now, so I'm a little insecure because I want to make sure I'm framed properly. Another episode of Elude Stalwart knows how to read. And I realize the green screen is kind of cattywampus. I want to say it's intentional, but I just wanted to show you I have a green screen, just to flex on him, just to ill on him a little bit. Although my childhood was, this is Goggins, David Goggins, never finished, Unshackle Your Mind and Win the War Within. Although my childhood stuttering was alarming, I wasn't completely undone by trauma. I was distracted by toxic stress. My pain kept me from living a completely happy life in grade school. It got too real already. I just, it says, okay, my pain kept me from living a completely happy life in grade school, and it continued to haunt me into young adulthood. Yet, through it all, I retained enough self-awareness to realize how bad things were and remember that each and every corner I cut, strange as it sounds, I was one of the lucky ones. I got something repeating in my ear here. It's kind of distracting me, actually. Oh, hold on. Let me get this. We'll use them audio on the headset to our advantage here. All right, check it out. See this right here? Anything? It's a tiny phone. It's made for ant people. What is that? A tiny phone made for ant people? It's Mind Valley. Have y'all heard of Mind Valley? Mind Valley. It's worth checking out. It's pretty good. I'm listening to alpha waves right now. It's almost like binaural audio. It gives you like a certain frequency. This frequency here, alpha waves, like I think it says 10 hertz. Yeah, 10 hertz relaxation. And the alpha wave brainwave state is like the state of flow. So you listen to the tone, and I guess like auditorially, like your ears are vibrated, which then in turn sends a vibratory signal to your brain, which is just like a stimulating pulse of the binaural audio beats combining to create a 10 hertz frequency, not megahertz, 10 hertz frequency. And I guess that allows you to lock into the zone and concentrate better. So now that that's on, I should get a clarity of thought I didn't have before. Y'all ready? Okay. It says, although my childhood, I don't know why I was doing it in that voice. It's been really dry. My hands have been drying out lately. Okay. We're just going to start this chapter over, and this is a 12-minute intro. Although my childhood stuttering was alarming, I wasn't completely undone by trauma. I was distracted by toxic stress. My pain kept me from living a complete and happy life in grade school, and it continued to haunt me into young adulthood. Yet through it all, I retained enough self-awareness to realize how bad things were and remember that each and every corner I cut, as strange as it sounds, I was one of the lucky ones. It says, I retained enough self-awareness to realize how bad things were and remember each and every corner I cut. And then he says, strange as it sounds, I was one of the lucky ones. For victims, their trauma is so devastating that they lose all of their self-respect. For some victims, it says, their trauma is so devastating that they lose all their self-respect and self-awareness. They are torn down to the studs, foundational aspects of their character pounded to dust. Part of what saved me from sliding all the way to the rock bottom was that what I saw in my mother. As much as she tried to hide it, she was a very portrait of devastation, which is why I've been able to study the work of the prisoner's mind all my life. She'd been a young woman when she met Trunnis. He dazzled her until she was spellbound, and then with every slap to the face, every hateful, disrespectful comment, each time he cheated on her, he siphoned more of her life away and life force away until she lost contact with the attractive, intelligent, and dignified, strong woman that she used to be. It didn't happen overnight, and it rarely does. In an abusive relationship, it's almost always gradual, which is why it burns so deep. Until one day you wake up and you're owned by the person who is destroying you. In nature, destruction is always giving ways to creation, and my mother didn't sit in the rubble for long once we arrived in Indiana. An urge to build again in each of us, and she had it too. However, when you're rebuilding yourself, it must be done consciously, and she lost all her confidence and emotional coherence because she never completely liberated herself from my father. As a result, she didn't know what she was building, and the brick she laid became her prison cell. Subconsciously, she built a tower of mental and emotional isolation, and by the time I was 8 years old, when she was an empty shell, she hustled and strived, but very little registered with her emotionally. We lived parallel lives. I couldn't reach her. The irony is, you build those walls to protect yourself. You think they make you hard and less vulnerable, but they isolate you in solitary confinement with your darkest thoughts and ugliest memories. You convince yourself that somehow you deserve to be there due to the bad life decisions you make. You believe that you're not worthy of more or something better, and the damage can't be undone. You're filled with endless shame. When you look in the mirror, you don't see yourself for who you are. What keeps you locked up in your prison is the false narrative that you continually feed yourself, and the false reflection you can't escape because it's part of you. By the time I was in high school, my mom was an independent, successful woman who had survived domestic violence and landed a six-figure job at a top-tier liberal arts university. Those were the straight facts. Everyone around us saw the same thing, but in the mirror, she saw a worthless and undeserving person. While working at as a college dean during my junior year of high school, she volunteered as a teacher in a prison. It wasn't enough for her to be on her own or to be in her own mental prison. She wanted to experience a real one, especially if it meant she'd have less time to herself and considering any of her life in a meaningful way. After just a few weeks of work at the penitentiary, her daily routine, which had been damn near sacred since we arrived in Indiana, was all over the place, and I sensed something was off. How could I not be the one with the phone ringing every 15 minutes? Or how could I not with the phone ringing every 15 minutes? Oh, hold on. It says, after just a few short weeks of the penitentiary, her daily routine, which had been damn near sacred since we arrived in Indiana, was all over the place, and I sensed something was off. How could I not, with the phone ringing every 15 minutes? Weeks before I was to leave the Air Force boot camp, she finally explained what the hell was going on. She was engaged to a man who had been in a maximum security prison for 10 years. Alright, next. It took more than a few minutes for that statement to register before I asked, what was he in prison for? She didn't answer right away. She had to collect her thoughts because there was no easy way of telling your son that your future husband is in prison for murdering a woman over drugs. He didn't shoot her. This was an attempt robbery gone wrong. This man straight up choked the life out of a woman over drugs. She went on to say that he was due to release from prison a week after I left for boot camp and would be moving into our house. It is truly amazing what the mind can do when you fail to rebuild yourself consciously. My dad was a gangster and a crook. Her previous fiance had been murdered in his own garage, and for an encore, she would marry a convicted murderer less than a week after his release from prison. My mom was looking for someone that she could save because she didn't have the strength to save herself. But the marriage did not go well. They would divorce within 2 years. He would relapse eventually and die of an overdose many years later. To put it into plain text, when your self-worth goes away, you don't deal with or accept your demons. They continue to own you, and you'll become the bottom feeder. I'm aware of that most of the advice I give in these stories are told to help build you and push you through impossible situations. However, sometimes what you need is a hard stop. If you ever find yourself in an abusive scenario like my mother's or any sort of battle where you're losing your sense of self and verging on erasure, your best hope is to arrest that slide before you hit the rock bottom. Hard stops allow military units and individual soldiers to reorganize. That includes reloading your empty magazines, taking inventory of your ammunition, and rearranging your gear so that you have access to loaded weapons and anything else you may need in the hours ahead. You also may take a hard look at your battle plan and get a clear sense of what you're facing and where it will lead. I know firsthand how torturous it is to be continually stalked by a predator. You lose all sense of normalcy. Reality becomes distorted. But also know in them moments of clarity do exist. My mother should have reorganized after Trunnis smacked her in the face the first time, or the 12th time, or even the 15th time. While I know this is hard to do, it's something that we must do for ourselves. It's non-negotiable. If she might have noticed what was on the slippery slope. It's non-negotiable. If she might have noticed she was on the slippery slope and would deal and lead to her utter destruction. She may have seen that it was not normal to tolerate and watch her kids work all night skates day after day and then get beaten at home. In a toxic situation, you cannot keep moving blindly forward hoping it'll end. It won't, but you might. When you arrest the slide, you will be damaged but not completely broken. Your wound will likely be a distraction, but with the intention and effort, you can heal and take control of your life. When you come to at a rock bottom, that's a different situation. When you come to, when you come to at rock bottom, that's a different situation, and it won't be clean or easy to fix. When inmates are released, they generally aren't rehabilitated in a sustainable way. Mostly prison fucked up and often need help if they're able to piece their lives back together. You'll need help too. You'll need to find the people who have survived or at least relate to what you've been through and can help you heal. Of course, it takes self-esteem and self-awareness to seek help and share your brutal story. And when you're confined by the walls that you built, the awareness and confidence are non-existent. At that point, your only choice is to get angry. We often are told that anger is an unhealthy emotion, but when someone or something has stolen your soul and destroyed your life, anger is a natural response. I'm not talking about irrational rage, which can be disastrous and lead you down an even darker hole. I'm talking about controlled anger, which is a natural source of energy that can wake you the fuck up and help you realize what you went through wasn't right. I have cracked open anger several times. It has warmed me whenever I was freezing, and it has turned fear into bravery, and it's given me fight whenever I had none. And it can do the same for you. Anger will snap you out of the spell you're under until you're no longer willing to remain confined in your mental prison. You'll be scratching and clawing at the walls looking for cracks where the lights leak in. Your fingernails will be broken and the tips of your finger and body raw, but you'll continue to fight and expand those cracks because your anger will purify and the human mind loves progress. Keep at it, and eventually those walls will tumble when you're free, standing in a debris field one more time with your eyes wide open. That'll work because destruction always breeds creation. Or devastation breeds creation. All right, guys, that was evolution number 4. Up next, we have chapter 5, discipline or disciple of discipline. Next time on Elude, Stalwart, TSV. Reads. Peace. Hold on, look. Let's do a proper outro. Y'all ready? Because we had it kind of hype coming in. We're gonna hype it up going out. All right, we gotta end things how we start them. Ready? The Nino band. That's not just she. It's their brother sister. What are you training for? You got this. Support my. Oh, I think my internet's going down. I wanted to show you on this TikTok, guys. You can see this TikTok though. Go to the Elude Stalwart TikTok. Elude Stalwart TikTok channel. This message brought to you by Elude Stalwart, approved by the Stalwart Vanguard LLC. Elude Stalwart, guys. Here it is. Do it to him. Do it for him. Do it for him.